Some of the creepiest games have the most atmospheric and memorable soundtracks in gaming. With just a few haunting notes and foreboding synths, its soundscapes can send chills up your spine. When it comes to consoles that knock that out of the park, the PlayStation 1 was king. One of my personal favorites that ends up going under the radar is Parasite Eve 2. Now, I know it tends to be a pretty divisive game, but the soundtrack is nothing less than perfect, which is what you'd expect from Naoshi Mizuta, who worked on the laboratory music for RE2. I chose to go with the second game over the first game because it's just way scarier. I'll never forget walking into Arcopolis Tower the first time and listening to Nightmare on the Battlefield. It immediately makes the game have such a moody tone. The atmosphere in each segment is also noticeably different and draws the player into the game. There is such an isolating feeling that comes from tunes in areas like Dryfield or the Ark. I think it's right up there in creepiness with other classic survival horror games. Speaking of classics, Silent Hill 1's soundtrack is another great example of how sublime creepy music can be. And by sublime, of course, I mean horrific sounds of your washing machine breaking down. In comparison to some of Yamaoka's later works in the series, Silent Hill 1 is more abrasive. Yamaoka leans into more of this symphony of harsh noise and industrial. I would describe some of the tracks with the feeling that they want to kill the actual player. The Nightmare segments feature some of the most hostile and oppressive melodies that you'll ever hear in your life. It's also very unique even to this day. You're unlikely to find any soundtrack that is willing to be this experimental in a game. I joked about it, but a lot of people describe some of the tracks as sounding as a washing machine, but you can't deny that it's super effective in the game itself. Now, of course, I would be remiss not to mention the other biggest survival horror franchise, Resident Evil. Now, one's got some pretty creepy tunes on it, but two takes the cake for me. This is some of the creepiest ambient music that I've ever heard. I'm convinced that Masami Ueda could make a laundry room in a hotel seem off putting. I was really let down to see they did away with this soundtrack in the remake. While the original tone is far more goofy, the soundtrack is incredibly dark. It's absolutely stacked with tracks like the marshalling yard and the basement themes. It's not just good as far as spooky ambience goes, but it's just amazing ambience in general. There's a reason why it's regarded as a classic. So these are some of my personal favorite horror game soundtracks. Let me know down in the comments what your favorites are. Thanks for watching.